Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. How are you? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Happy Feelgood Friday to you. Oh, it is rainy and gross here. How's the weather where you are? Carol says she hopes I had a good time in Florida. I did. I did. I had a great time in Florida. It's hard to come home to chilly, cloudy, rainy weather, though. You know what I mean? so, oh, hi, Mary. Hi, Ginger. Hi, Kathy. Cindy's here. Hey, Teresa. How are ya? Laurie's always early. Always early. Love you, Laurie. Hi, Wendy. Sharon is here. Cindy was the first one in this morning. Good morning. Well, afternoon ish. You know, it's weird. When it's dark and cloudy outside, it always feels like morning as far as I'm concerned. So, oh, Sharon has to leave. I'm sorry. Hey, Pat, how are ya? Oh, you're not late, Lisa. Not late at all. I was a little bit late by like 1 minute. So we can be late together. It's okay. I don't think Wanda's here, so she can't put our names on the clipboard. She's late. So oh my gosh. How's everybody? All right. All right. Joy says, finally made it to alive. I'm so glad that you did. I'm so glad that you did. Hey, Nicole. Hi, Ruth in rainy Ohio. I'm in rainy Tennessee. it's gross. It's gross here. But I mean, it's necessary. We had that talk on Tuesday, right? When we were looking at the bargain bee box and it was all about April showers. It's necessary. And I don't actually mind it, but I do prefer it when it rains on like a Sunday, so that I can cuddle up and be comfy cozy while it rains instead of having to work on a Friday and then go out into the world when it's raining. That's no fun. No, nobody likes that. I would much rather it be sunny. Sunny in South Florida, says Nicole. It is always sunny in South Florida. Well, not always, but I mean, it's usually pretty nice in South Florida. How was Florida? Florida was fabulous. We worked really, really hard. I cannot wait for you guys to see the final results. It was just awesome. It was just awesome. Did I talk about it on Tuesday? I don't remember if I did or not. But we had a really good time. We had a really good trip and got everything that we set out to do accomplished. And now I'm just looking forward to seeing the finished product before everybody else sees it, because it's going to be pretty exciting. So it's awesome. It's awesome. And I think that you guys are going to be able to see what we were doing very, very soon, hopefully next week. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. It's going to be awesome. All right, so it is Feel Good Friday, my very favorite day of the week. But before we get into that, let's talk about all of the other things that we need to talk about. First and foremost, Hardwired will be open for enrollment next week. Hooray! I love it when Hardwired is open for enrollment, because every now and then we get some new people to come into Hardwired, and we are always happy to have some new faces or faces that have returned that had to leave for really for reasons and then come back. There we go. I'm saying what I wanted to say there. My brain and my mouth just weren't quite. You know how it goes. So looking forward to maybe getting some new members to Hardwired. For those of you who don't know about Hardwired, that is my paid learning community. It is a paid group. You have to pay to be a part of it, but it is very affordable. You can pay quarterly or monthly. If you pay quarterly, of course, you get a deep, deep discount for doing it that way. And in that group, you will get how shall I put this? I say it every single time we talk about it, but I feel like it doesn't quite come across the way that I want it to. We do harder projects than we do here in the regular lives, but they are not so hard that you can't do them. I teach upper level beginner to intermediate style projects. But if you've got your basics down, basic wire wrapping, your wrapped loops, your simple loops, your basic stringing, and your basic knotting skills, you're good to go. I try to break projects down in a way that is very easy to understand for all skill levels. It's a great place to build those skill levels. So if you're looking to up your game a little bit, if you're looking to kind of go further than where you are, Hardwired is a great place to start. It is by no means the only place to learn or your last stop on your learning adventure for jewelry making and wire. It is just a really nice stepping stone on your path, because I only teach up to a certain point. When it comes to like advanced projects, I don't really teach advanced projects. For one thing, they are very time consuming. But for another thing, it kind of takes the fun out of things a little bit. And by the time you're ready for that step, you're ready to get serious. And we're not very serious. We do work hard and we learn a lot, but we are very casual and fun, and we enjoy hanging out with each other. So if you'd like to be a part of that, it is open for enrollment at the end of every single month. And if you would like to be a member, all you got to do is go over to the Facebook group and apply to be a member. Make sure that you are answering the questions so that we can send you your invoice and get you started. Now, if you'd like to be a part of Patreon, Patreon is open anytime. It is open anytime to anybody. It does not matter where you are, and it doesn't matter what your skill level is. For $10 a month, you will get 3 additional projects from me. So that's extra content. That $10 a month is going to get you access to content that is strictly for Patreon. You will not see it on Facebook or on YouTube. It is exclusive to Patreon members only. Plus, you have access to our Discord server. And the Patreon projects are just easy, fun projects where I use things that I have in my stash to create jewelry that I love, and I inspire you to do the same instead of going out and buying lots of things that you don't need. How about use up what you've already got? So that's the way we do things in Patreon, a little bit different than Hardwired. So I would love for you to pick either one or both and come and hang out with us. All right, so now let's get into business here. It is Feelgood Friday, my very favorite day of the week. On Feelgood Friday, we focus on fun and easy instant gratification jewelry. Everything that you see in today's show is available for purchase in my Etsy shop as a kit. Everything is a kit. You can purchase those kits by following the links that my team drops here in the comment section, or you can just head on over to my Etsy shop and shop around. There are kits from previous shows as well as finished pieces of jewelry there. So definitely take advantage of all of the goodies that are in my Etsy shop. Now, Feelgood Friday, we stick to the basics, right? We stick to, like I was talking about, your basic skills. Simple loops, wrapped loops, simple stringing, simple knotting. Those kinds of things are what we do on Fridays. I don't want you to get bogged down in technique. I want you to feel confident and excited about creating beautiful pieces of jewelry and not feeling like you have to show off all of your skills, right? You could be the most advanced wire worker in the universe, or the most advanced stringer or knotter in the universe. But that doesn't mean that beautiful jewelry has to be all of those things, right? You can still come back to your basics and create gorgeous things. And that's what we do on Fridays. So, all right, I've got lots of beautiful stringing projects for you guys today. And guys, I have a kit that Q put together. It's been a very long time since Q has contributed to a Feelgood Friday show, and he has put together a cute little bracelet that is in today's show. So if you like to collect Q's kits, there is one in the mix today. Something else I was going to tell you, and it just slipped my mind. Shoot, what was it? Oh, I know what it is. Sorry, lots of things going on in my head. First 20 purchases, you're going to get a free little baggie of sparkle. So free gift to first 20 of all of my purchased kits today. All right, so I'm going to turn you guys around and we're going to get started. Ready? I got some beautiful things. I'm so excited to show you all of the pretties in today's show. All right, we're going to start out with a necklace, and then I'm going to show you a bracelet that kind of goes with it. And as I mentioned, we are doing lots of fabulous stringing today. So we are going to put together a gorgeous necklace using sponge coral. You guys, while I was in Florida, I was so inspired by the beach and all of the beachy jewelry that I saw. Lots of coral, lots of shell, lots of wood, lots of coconut jewelry, and coral is always, always awesome. So I have a chunky monkey, beautiful necklace for you guys using antique brass findings and some really gorgeous sponge coral that I am just obsessed with. This color red, because it's almost orange. I love it. I love it. So, so pretty. So we've got some bead caps here. We're going to put together a fun little necklace, and we're going to use some antique brass elements to make this into a beautiful piece. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Where are my crimp beads? I must have forgotten to put crimps in with this. That's okay. I'll grab some real quick. I did forget to put some in. Yes, everything is on Etsy that you see, and my team is here dropping links to each one of the kits in the comment section. So if you want to shop that way, it makes it much, much easier. All right, so I'm going to take my bead string and wire, and I'm going to thread on my crimp, and then I'm going to thread on my wire guardian. I'm going to take my wire back down through my wire guardian, and then down through my crimp. Okay. Terry says, I love it already. You've not even seen it yet. Well, maybe you have. You may have seen the picture, but this is such a beautiful necklace. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. All right. So we're going to make sure that those wires are separated inside that crimp, one on one side, one on the other. We're going to put that into the back notch of my crimper tool. You're not late, Kathleen. I'm just getting started. And we're going to give that a squeeze. That is going to further separate out those wires. I'm going to turn that sideways and put that into the front notch of the crimper tool and give that a squeeze just to tidy it up. And now we are ready to get started. First and foremost, we want to trim off the excess. So we don't need any of that. All right, let's string this up. So we are going to put one of these beautiful little tiara cast spacers. I love tiara cast spacers. They're so pretty. Even the little tiny ones, look at that, has big personality with that little, the shape and then the little accents on it. So pretty. All right, so one of those. Then we are going to put on a round coral. Okay, we're going to drop that down. All right, then I'm going to put on a bead cap. And then after the bead cap, I have two different sizes of the coral rondelles. I'm going to use the smaller ones in the back sections of this necklace, and then we'll use the larger ones in the front section. So I'm going to pick up 3 of those. So there's 1, 2. I love it. Wendy says, I hit the Etsy shop before it started. I've missed too many kits I wanted. Yeah, a lot of my early bird shoppers get all the goods because they know that a lot of times things will sell out. So that's very, very smart. All right, now I'm going to thread on another bead cap. All right, and then another of the round coral. Okay, and then another bead cap, and this time we are going to do the larger of the rondelles. So they're just slightly larger. They're just a little bit bigger. Okay, and then another bead cap. Drop that down. I love mixing rondelles with round beads. There's just something about it. And the rondelles that are smooth are some of my very favorite. I love a rondelle. Any rondelle is a good rondelle. But there's just something about the way that they stack that just makes me really, really happy. All right, so now we're going to do another round, and then we are going to add in our large focal beads. Hi, Lisa. Okay, so now I'm going to use a larger bead cap. You've got 2 different sizes of bead caps in your kit. So a larger bead cap, and then a big chunky monkey bead, another bead cap. Drop that down, and we're going to do a round bead. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that because we have 3 of these big chunky monkeys. So I'm going to frame each one of those with some bead caps, and then make sure to put a round bead in between them. And my last of the big coral. This is such a good necklace for summer. I have summer on the brain now. How beautiful is that? And I love the combination of the red and the antique brass. I think it's a really, really lovely kind of classy look to mix the two together. All right, now I'm going to go back to the smaller bead caps and do my larger rondelles. And if you like sponge coral, I've got a really pretty bracelet that goes with this, or separately. Either or, together or not together. Both are pretty. All right, another round bead, and then we're just going to finish with our smaller rondelles and another round. This kind of reminds me of some of the jewelry that I've been seeing on the spring and summer runways for this year, because big chunky looks are very popular, which I like. I don't do a lot of chunky jewelry just because a lot of times the bigger beads are more expensive, but I was fortunate enough to have a lot of this gorgeous coral. So, all right. And we're going to finish that off with one of the little baby tiara cast beads. And now we are going to crimp. Look how pretty that is. It's so pretty, and it's just simple. It doesn't need anything else. It doesn't need any dangles. It doesn't need any extra drapes or layers. It just is beautiful all on its own. And that's the beauty of coral. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it that is just quite lovely. So crimp bead going on, and then our wire guardian, and then we are going to add antique brass chain for the length. However, once you get this home, you can swap the chain out for something else if you want to. You can swap it out for leather, or you can, maybe you have some more coral beads, you want to bead the rest of the length, you can. It's totally up to you. Once you get these kits home, you can personalize them however you want to. So now we're going to crimp again. I'm not really sure why it is called sponge coral, to be honest with you. I have no idea. I would imagine that it has something to do with the texture of it and how porous it is, but I'm not really sure. That's a good question. All right, gonna trim. And then for the length, we're just going to add some chain to this. So I've cut my chain in half, and I have my hardware on the back, so just jump rings and my clasp. And instead of using a jump ring here, I'm actually just gonna very gently open up the last link on my chain, because it's kind of a large chain. I mean, it's not huge, but it's got a good large side link on it that's easy to open and close. And I'm just going to close that back. Just treat it like a jump ring. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Very summery indeed, Carol. I love coral. It's great for any time, but it definitely kind of screams summer and beach and boho to me. All right, there we go. We have a beautiful, it doesn't need anything else. You know, sometimes I get a little crazy with jewelry, lots of dangles and extras. This just is just standalone, a gorgeous piece. Really, really love that. I love all of the texture here. Even though the beads are smooth, the different shapes mixed together, and then the pops of metal just really makes this a pretty one. So, all right, layer it with your other pieces or wear it on its own. I think it's awesome. Oh, Ginger has it. Sponge coral is a type of coral characterized by sponge-like appearance due to the small open pores on its surface. See, I knew it had to have something to do with that. So I don't know if we can really see those open pores up close, but it makes sense. You can a little bit. Oh yeah, you can see. Very natural. Love it. Mother Nature's good. She's just good. She knows what she's doing. All right, gonna set that to the side. Now, I have a bracelet that will go with this. You don't have to put them together if you don't want to, but if you do like a set, they will look quite lovely together. And this is a bracelet that has some of that beautiful sponge coral. There are also some light topaz colored Swarovski / prestige cubes, okay, that are kind of honey colored. We have some prestige Swarovski bicones that we're going to use as some dangles. So there's our coral. And then there's a lot of tiara cast elements here. So tiara cast spacers, tiara cast metal bead here with some bamboo on it, really pretty. And then a serpentine bead because I really like the combination of the coral with the green. I don't know. Some people won't like this color combo, but I think it worked out really pretty. And it's also another great summertime piece. So I'm gonna lay all this out. There are bead caps involved here as well. All right, so let's string this one up. Okay, so we are going to start this out the same way. We're going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. Amy says, normally I don't care for this color combo, but that's gorgeous. Yay! I love it when I can change minds about colors, because I know sometimes I mix together colors that people are like, whoa, I would never put those together. You got to wait for the final piece. You know what I mean? It's different when you see it all laid out on the mat as opposed to when you see it all kind of come together and then you're like, oh, I get it. It works. I'm not much of a yellow person. I'm gaining respect and love for yellow, but it's not one of my favorites. It can be intimidating to work with. This is not actually what is considered yellow. It's considered topaz, which I think is kind of crazy because it definitely reads yellow. But mixing it with the other elements here, I think you're going to see it works out quite nicely. All right, so I'm going to take, I've got a lot of these little tiara cast spacers that are just little plain simple rondelles. So I'm going to thread on one of those. And then I'm going to do 3 cubes. So 1, 2, and 3. Gina says sometimes she has a problem with combining colors. It's a skill that I had to learn. I was not very good at it. And I really had to practice and kind of study. For a lot of people, it is really, it just comes naturally. I was not one of those people. So if you're not one of those people either, that's okay. Like I said, just take some practice, because I was, it just seemed kind of weird to me. But once I kind of got the hang of it, then I really was able to mix things together more confidently, for sure. Yeah, the color wheels help. But sometimes I think seeing, not that the color wheels are wrong, because they are 100% accurate. But for me, I like to look at things for inspiration and color palettes. Mother Nature, of course, she always, mixes the colors together the correct way. But I will look at landscapes. I will look at pictures of things. I get on Pinterest and I look at pictures of like painted, home decor where they've used lots of colors. And I look at the color combinations that are used in projects like that, and then try to translate it into jewelry. I have a hair wrap that I bought while I was at the beach that is this really awesome color combination of like creams and pinks and blues in shades that I wouldn't normally put together. I should have brought it in here. And I was really inspired by it. I'm going to create a piece of jewelry with that color palette. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, now I'm going to use one of the ones that was in the necklace. So this one is a little bit different. So after 3 groups of 3 of the cubes with the little plain rondelles, I'm putting in one of the fancier rondelles, and I'm going to thread on my metal bead. Okay, then I'm going to thread on another one of the little fancies. Now we're going to stack some of the bead caps. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the kind of tulip shaped bead caps, and then one of the flatter bead caps. Well, it's not flat, but it's more wide. And I'm just going to stack those 2 together. I'm going to thread on my serpentine bead. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that stack of bead caps, which is just 2, but it still adds some really cool texture. So you can see how stacking those together kind of creates your own bead caps, right? I love to stack a bead cap. Bead cap, bead cap stacks. That's hard to say. Bead cap stacks are really fun. Okay, now I'm going to transition into the coral beads. So I've got one more of the kind of little decorative spacers. I'm going to thread that on, and now I'm going to do my coral. So I'm going to do 2 coral, and then one of the plain spacers. 2 coral, spacer. Okay, 2 coral and a spacer, and then the last 2 and another spacer. So that's going to finish out this part. Now this one I did add dangles because you know I can't resist. The necklace didn't need it, but I definitely added some dangles here to this beautiful bracelet, and you can either add them or leave them off. It is totally up to you. But I have some extension chain, 4 bicones, and then some hardware. We're going to talk about all of that here in just a second, but let's go ahead and crimp this so you can see just how pretty all of this is when it comes together. And then adding the dangles kind of ties in the red some more. So I really enjoyed that. Pat says this bracelet is sheer fun. I agree. It's fun. It's just, I never take things too seriously. And I think that in my jewelry designing, I think that comes through. Like, you guys know, giggling and laughter is my default setting, even in the most awkward and inappropriate times. And I'm like that in my jewelry making too. All right. So bringing in the crimp, the wire guardian, we're going to go ahead and finish this off. And trim. All right. So now we have this beautiful combo here, and it might be short for some people, maybe it's not, but I wanted to add some extension chain just because extension chain is cool. For no other reason than I just like extension chain. So I'm going to take a jump ring here, and I'm going to thread on my extension chain. I'm going to put that on one of the ends. And at the bottom of my extension chain, I am going to add dangles because I don't like a plain extension chain. It drives me crazy. So I have 2 out of the 4 that are already wire wrapped. And then I have one that I need to wire wrap with you guys. However, I don't have a head pin. There it is. It snuck off. It's sneaking away. So we're going to wire wrap all of the bicones. So 2 of them are going to go at the end of our extension chain just to make it a little bit more decorative. The other 2, I'm going to put on a jump ring, and you can put them literally anywhere. But let's wire wrap these first. So coming in with my chain nose pliers, bending the wire over the top of the pliers. Then we're going to come in with our round nose pliers, go up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to wire wrap in that space. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter and trim off the excess. All right. So first one I'm going to take a jump ring here, and I'm going to thread on 2 bicones. And I'm just going to plop that on the bottom of my extension chain. Now, you don't have to, but like I said, I'm just not big on a plain extension chain. So if I can add a little decorative element to it, it makes me feel much better about it. The other 2, I'm going to take another jump ring, and I'm going to thread those 2 on. Then I'm going to just put them somewhere, right? Because we have these little spaces with the spacer beads that are protecting our wire. So we quite literally can put them anywhere that we want to. I'm going to pop mine like right here, but feel free to put them like I said, anywhere. That jump ring is going to sit over the top of your spacer, so you don't have to worry that it is going to come in contact with your bead stringing wire. And then my clasp at the end. It is very, very different. Oops. All right. And then, hush, 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 hush. Sorry, guys. All right, and there we go. Look how pretty. I love it. It's so pretty. It's so fun. It's so different. Lots of texture going on here. And if you love a set, it goes great with the necklace. So there are the two together. What a fun summertime set. I love, love, love. Yep. Super cute. Add the dangles or turn the dangles into earrings, and then you have earrings to go with all of it as well. So yeah, so fun. Okay. Moving on. All right, let's take a look at something else, shall we? Let's put together another necklace. This is a necklace that is a totally different feeling to it. Definitely a different feeling. This one is Tiara Cast and Swarovski. And guys, listen, I got my hands on about 40 of these. When you see these in the wild, whether they are here or whether they are on the Art Beads website or another website or wherever you see them, they are the last of the last. It has been said that Tiara Cast, now that they have changed owners, right now they are owned by somebody else. They are no longer partnering with Swarovski to create these kinds of pieces that have the Swarovski crystals in them. Okay, so these are the last of the last. So once these are bought up from all of the places where you can buy jewelry supplies, they're going to be gone for good. So like I said, I grabbed about 40 of these. I could not just let them go. I took a certain amount of them to put in my own personal stash, and then I used the rest of them to create some beautiful kits with. So that is a beautiful Swarovski Rivoli that is set in a Tiara Cast setting. Then I have some glass pearls and gold. Now I know a lot of you are not gold fans, but I think this is a good exception because this is something you're not going to be able to get your hands on probably in the next year or two. So I would make an exception, or if you're afraid of gold, maybe let this be the time that you step outside the box, right? Okay, so I have lots of chain pieces here, and we are going to do some stringing, and then we are going to do some chain. This is a double strand, so this has 2 drapes to it. We're going to do the stringing part of this first, and then we are going to put together the rest of it. There are some 24 karat gold plated. They're not 100% gold, guys, but they are plated. Check fire polish. Let me show these to you. So I tried to put together the good goods in this one. So these fire polish beads are plated in 24 karat gold, which just makes them a little bit more sparkly and special than just your average gold colored check fire polish. So I have a handful of those. We're going to use those as spacers between our pearls here. Okay, so first things first, we are going to thread on our crimp and our wire guardian. Hey, that's enough. Albert. All right. So now separating out the wires, and then we are going to crimp. Right? Gold-plated fire polish beads they're pretty special. They really are quite special. I have some of the fire polish and some of the pinch beads, and they're really, really beautiful. All right, so now what we are going to do is we are going to string up our necklace. So we're going to start with 2 of the fire polish. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 pearls. So there's 1, 2. The pearls kind of stress me out a little bit, so if they stress you out, don't be alarmed. You're not alone. It's the coating that's on them that makes the drill hole a little tight. They will all fit onto your bead stringing wire, but sometimes they need a little extra help. So I'm going to take a piece of wire, go through a piece of wire. This might be too thick of a piece of wire here. Let me find another little head pin. Makes me a little crazy. Because it does fit. These are the exact beads that came off of the one that is pictured. So I know that they do all fit. My goodness. It's just a matter of getting that coating out of the way. What is going on with this one? Where is my bead reamer? We might need to help this one a little bit more than just... All right. Don't do what I'm about to do, you guys. If you're going to ream your pearls, please do it in a glass of water. Don't do this without, but... just kind of giving me a hard time here, which is weird because, like I said, these all came from the same strand. What? That I already had them on a necklace before. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, moving on to the next. I don't know what's wrong with that one, but it was part of this necklace originally. I may have to go get another one. Okay, so 2 pearls. If you get this kit and you have that problem, please send me a message and I'll send you a new pearl. Okay. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me because that is so frustrating and I don't mind to stick another pearl in the mail for you. And actually I'm supposed to do 3. So 3 pearls. Okay. So the pattern is 2 fire polish, 3 pearls. So my dogs are barking. Listen, first of all, before I say this, I'm not bougie. I promise. I'm not bougie and I'm certainly not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but you guys know that I work incredibly long hours. So I don't have a whole lot of time. So I have a housekeeper that comes, and my normal housekeeper is away on vacation. So there's a different lady. Here's another one that's giving me a hard time. So there's a different lady here today cleaning, and she's what the dogs are barking at. And it sounds like she's on the phone talking to somebody. And I think that's what my dogs are freaking out about. So I'm sorry that you are getting my barking dogs today. My barking dogs and my pearls that don't want to thread. I apologize. Apologize for all the things. Okay. So some of these pearls are just kind of tricky. Okay, 3 pearls, 2 fire polish. Now we are in the middle of this strand because thankfully for our little fingies, we're only doing 3 groups of these, and then we're going to hang our pendant here. So let's do 3 more. A girl definitely has got to work, and having a stranger in the house, my dogs are just, they're not having any part of that. But I think she's on the phone and she's talking, so that's why they're like, what is happening out there? That's a voice we don't know. Okay. All right, now I'm going to thread on 1 of the fire polish. Okay. Then I'm going to thread on my pendant, but my pendant is going to hang over the top of the fire polish via jump ring. So I'm going to go ahead, put the jump ring on, and then I'm going to thread that on. This is going to be right in the middle, and I'll show you just in case you don't believe me. See how it's just going to kind of wiggle around over the top of those. So that jump ring is not going to touch your bead string and wire. Now we need to repeat our pattern here. So hold your breath, everybody. We're going to trim the end of our wire. Hopefully that'll make things a little bit easier. And we're going to thread on the rest of these pearls and hope that they all behave. That one was just not playing nicely with us. Okay, so there's 3 and then 2, the fire polish. I am definitely rich with friends and followers, and there's no short supply of love in my life, that's for sure. So yes, when you measure your wealth that way, I am very, very wealthy for sure, and very grateful. Definitely grateful. I would be even more grateful if I could keep up with my own pattern here. It's just kind of throwing me off because it's 3 pearls and two fire polish. I keep wanting to make it 2 and 2, and it is not. It is 3 and 2. All right, we're at our last few little pearls here. We're going to see if we can get this last pearl to play nicely. I don't know though. I have a feeling that we're going to have to find a different pearl. So, all right. This is your last chance, mister. If you don't go on this necklace now, you're losing. How on earth? Oh, look at that. It just wanted to be on the end. I don't know. You're right. Maybe something got inside it. I don't know. Just got it knocked out of the way. All right, 2 of the fire polish. And then we're going to crimp this. And then I'm going to show you how to put the chain with this, because this is a double strand, right? However, if you don't like the necklace part, if you just wanted to turn this into a bracelet, you very easily could convert this into a bracelet instead, if you are just not really a necklace person. So, all right, we're going to crimp. So, wire guardian. Oh, thank you everybody who bought the sponge coral necklace. That was a hit. I love it. I'm glad that you liked it. If you guys want, if you missed your chance and you want another, or you wanted one of those necklaces and you didn't get it, let me know. I can order some more bead caps, because I do have more of the sponge coral beads. I just made as many as the bead caps would allow. All right. Gonna crimp. Okay, now, like I mentioned, this is going to be a double strand necklace. So what we are going to do now is we are going to incorporate all of the chain that I have here. So you're going to have 3 pieces of chain in your kit, and one of them is going to be your length. So you're going to need to cut it according to how long you want it to be. But the other pieces are going to be, actually, I think it's more than 3. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of chain, I believe. Regardless, you have all the chain that you need for this necklace. So I have these little short sections, and the little short sections I'm actually going to attach to each side of this, just to give it a little extra length, because the beaded section is a little on the short side. Perfect to make a bracelet though. So I'm just going to use a 4mm jump ring and attach short piece of chain that's just going to lengthen this up a bit. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Close that back. All right. So now the other chain that I have here, which I have already attached, but is going to be a drape. And it's attached with a jump ring. And the only reason that I didn't unattach all of this was because I didn't want to get all my chain pieces mixed up. But I'm going to use another 4mm jump ring. The 4mm jump ring is going to attach the drape, the length, and the short section. So let me just open this up so that I can attach all of it, and it will make a whole lot more sense when you see it. So see how, so the short section and the drape are attached, 4mm jump ring, and then the length is going to go up, right? So we're going to do the same thing over here on this side where I already have it attached, just so that I didn't confuse myself when I was putting this together. It turned out to be a good thing because the pearls gave me enough trouble as it stands. So add that on. And then for the back, you just want to add your hardware, a couple of jump rings, and your clasp. But when it is all said and done, you have this beautiful 2-strand necklace. You've got this nice drape that's acting kind of silly at the moment, but you've got beautiful drape of chain, and then your beautiful drape with that has the chain and your pearls with your crystal. So there you go. Took us a minute to get there, but I think the results are absolutely beautiful. And I know not everybody likes gold. Gold can be very intimidating. Gold is one of those things it's hard to work with because not all golds match each other. I did the best that I could to make everything match here, but it's hard. It's hard when the gold on the tiara cast, the gold on the beads, and the gold in the chain, like I tried to get it as close as I possibly could. I know it's probably not 100%, but once you have this on, I think you're going to see it's really pretty. This is a nice one just to throw on and, you know, wear it with your little black dress, or, you know, or I would wear it anywhere, quite honestly, because I love layered necklaces, but you can dress it up or you can dress it down, and it is quite lovely. But I think the biggest part of this, at least for me, was making sure that I got my hands on some of these tiara cast pendants with the Swarovski, because they are a dying breed. They will not be making them again. So when you see them out there, grab them up when you can. Grab this kit, turn it into something else if you want to. But you're going to be hard pressed to find the tiara cast Swarovski combos. All right, moving on to the next. Moving on. I have 2 more bracelets and a pair of earrings for you guys. We're going to do the bracelet, the double strand bracelet first, then we're going to do Q's bracelet, and then we'll do the earrings at the end. All right, I've got another beautiful, beautiful double strand. This is a double strand bracelet. There are crystals involved here, some beautiful cubes. There are rose quartz beads involved. There are gorgeous metallic drucks, tiara cast button. All right, we're going to do a double strand. Super, super easy. It's just a little pattern of those gorgeous metallic purpley rose colored beads with some silk colored Swarovski cubes. Okay, so 1 strand's already done. We're going to string the other strand together. So 2 strands, and then we're going to use our rose quartz as our dangles. So let's do that real quick, as quick as we can string. Sometimes the stringing projects take a while, but it's all right. It's worth it. All right, crimp, wire guardian, back down through, and then down through the crimp. Amy. I love you, Amy. You're so funny. Amy says, could you please make something ugly so I won't be tempted? Listen, Amy, I got bills to pay. That doesn't mean I don't make ugly things, because trust me, I do make a lot of very ugly things. I mean, I'm just being honest. I think that's just part of it when you're a jewelry maker, right? We all make some really ugly things from time to time. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so this one we are using some metal beads. We're going to thread on a metal bead, and we're going to do 2 of these metallic druck beads. All right. Then we're going to do a cube. So this pattern is a little different. And then we're going to do a metal bead and a cube and 2 drucks and a metal bead. So let me thread all this on and then get my fingers out of the way so that you can actually see this. All right. So this is what our pattern is. I really like it. It's kind of Albert. It's kind of different, right? Just where I have put the metal beads makes it a little different than something that I would normally do. So that's the pattern. And we're going to do the entire strand just like that. Okay. So we're going to repeat that with the 2 druck beads. Okay. And then the cube. Look at those gorgeous cubes. I love this color. It's like the lightest peach ever. Metal bead, cube, 2 drucks, and a metal bead. Oh, y'all are funny. Funny, funny, funny. Okay. Look how yummy that's gonna be. Oh, I love this bracelet. I was just very, very pleased with the way that this one came out. It's so pretty. And because I use the smaller 4mm beads for this, that's what really kind of made me decide that it needed to be a double strand, because I don't have bigger versions of these beads, but I wanted bigger beads. I wanted to have a 6 or 8mm version of all these. So instead, you're getting the double to make up for the smallness in these gorgeous little babies. That being said, if you like smaller bracelets, right? If you like a thin, small bracelet, guess what? You could make 2 bracelets out of this, one for you and one to share. And there is nothing wrong with that either. So I think it's a win-win no matter what your preference is, because you could very easily turn this into 2 bracelets instead of one. You could give one away, sell one, whatever you want to do with it. But I do like making a double strand out of something that I don't have bigger beads with, because it really does kind of pack the same punch as it would have if they had been large beads. So always keep that in mind too when you're creating things. If all you have is small beads, just double them up. All right, last set of the pattern here. So there's my 2. The skin makes the metals. Let's see. Hold on. You love the name Albert? Thanks. He is definitely, if you met him, he is definitely an Albert. Like that is 100% his name. I could not imagine him with any other name. Let's see. Does anyone have suggestions on what to do if your skin has a tendency to turn the metals a different color? Mine does too, Amy. I can't wear copper at all. I cannot. I can't even look at copper. If I just look at copper, it turns. It tarnishes. Like it's terrible, terrible. I need one more metal bead for the end of this, and I don't know what happened to it. I'm guessing that the desk probably ate it. So let me grab the metal bead here just so that we can finish this off the correct way. And I have yet to find a cure for that. I wish that there was a way to fix it, but the only thing that I can tell you that I've done is, so I can't wear it, right? But if I want to work with it, if I want to work with bare copper, I use white cotton gloves to do the work. and try my best not to touch it at all. So that way, when my customer gets it, it's not tarnished, which can be kind of a hassle, but it's really the only thing that I found that works. All right, so we finished this off. Now we are going to crimp. It is very frustrating because I love copper. I don't have the same problem with antiqued copper. Antique copper I can use all day, every day. But regular copper, I can't wear it. I can't create with it without putting a barrier between me and my skin. And it's just, it has something to do with my chemical makeup. All right, and we're going to crimp. And then we are going to trim. Yeah, you could put a clear sealant on it, and I can put a clear sealant on things that I'm going to keep and wear, but I don't want to put it on something that a customer wears, just on the off chance that there could be an allergy to the clear sealant. And the clear sealant does wear off over time. So you gotta be careful about that. And you also have to be very straightforward with your customer about that as well. And let them know, like, if you put a clear sealant on anything, you need to let them know that it is there, because otherwise, when it does start to wear away, they're going to be like, what the heck is wrong with this? So, okay. So I have my 2 beautiful strands here, and I have my 2 chunky pieces of rose quartz that I'm going to use as dangles. I need to wire wrap one of those. So I'm going to thread that onto a head pin. Both of them are getting the wire wrapping, but grab the wire, bend it, coming in with my round nose pliers, up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then wire wrap. All right, and then we're going to come in with our cutter and we're going to trim off the excess. Beads of our lives. I like it. I like it. Listen, in this industry is catty and gossipy and just, oh my, it already is a soap opera. Trust me. Okay, so now we're going to put all of this together. And in order to do that, one of the first things that we need to do is we need to handle our leather. Now, I always do this the same way, but I do want to show it to everybody in case you have not seen it. So I'm going to take a large jump ring and I'm going to thread both ends of my beaded strands onto that. And then I'm going to thread on my dangles. And then I'm going to close that back. Okay. Now I'm going to take my leather and I'm going to thread that on to the jump ring, and I'm going to bring my ends together to find the middle. Okay. Once I have found the middle, I'm going to take the 2 strands together and I'm going to tie an overhanded knot. We're going to run a little late today. I hope that's okay. If you've got to leave, I understand. Stringing projects always make us run a little late. That's okay. It's worth it because they're pretty. All right, now I need to come over a little bit so that I can accommodate my button, because your button is actually going to slide through there. So come over, but give yourself enough room to accommodate your button, and then tie another overhanded knot. And then pull and cinch that down. Oops. Okay, and then you can use your cutter to trim off, leave however much of that you like to have. All right, then on the other side of the bracelet, that's where your button is going to go. So we're going to take a jump ring. We're going to thread on both strands. And then we are going to thread that on to the shank on the back of our button. Close that back. And voila, we have gorgeous double strand bracelet with rose quartz dangle-doos, tiara cast button, and some leather. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This color combination is just, it's so different, but it's so pretty. It's like a peachy color, but then the purple is not quite purple. It's rose metallic. And then the rose quartz with the button. It's just a really, really pretty bracelet. And I do love that tiara cast button with the heart on it. Absolutely beautiful. This was part of one of my favorite tiara cast collections, the Dolce Vita collection that they had. I think they're still making this collection, so you're not in any rush to grab those up, but gosh, it's pretty. So nice. All right, moving on. Okay, we have Q's bracelet coming up next, and then a quick pair of earrings. So Q puts together jewelry every once in a while. Every once in a while, he will contribute a kit or a maker mix. And for those of you who don't know, Q is, see, I wear a Q. I have a Q on my necklace too. Q is my, gosh, I'm too old to say boyfriend. I just hate that word. But we've been together for, over 3 years now. Can you believe that? He's my partner in crime. He's my better half. He's all of those things. And he dabbles in jewelry making, okay? Just dabbles. He's still very much a beginner, but he enjoys putting pieces together. And anytime he has ever put anything together, you guys buy it up like crazy. So this is his chunky spring bracelet. And I'm going to very quickly put this together for you. So it's going to be a strung project. You can see there's some chunky beads involved here. Check glass flowers, check fire polish, a crackle bead. There are some mermaid beads in here as well. And I'm going to put this together, and then we're going to do the adjustable clasp on this. So yeah, the old man. He is my love. He is my love. And he's home right now, which is really nice because he travels for work, and he usually works like 4 days out of the week, but he's home right now, which is lovely. But then he's going to be off to New Orleans for 3 days next week. So I enjoy having him home. I also kind of enjoy when he's not home too, because I get to starfish in the bed and stuff. Don't tell him I said that. Crip bead going on. Oh, it's a win-win. All right. Back down through the wire guardian and through the crimp. All right. And then we are going to crimp. Okay. It's true. It's true. Because I had been by myself. Like I had been, you know what I mean? I'd been sleeping in a bed by myself for so long. And then we got together, and I had to relearn how to sleep with another human being in the bed. And I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. I like to cuddle and all of those things. I do get really sweaty and hot very quickly though. So, I have to move over to my side of the bed. But when he's not here and he travels for work, I can sleep on the whole bed again. So I look at it as just like, it's a little bonus. You know what I mean? I would much rather have him home than not, but it is kind of nice to be able to spread out on the bed for a couple nights each week. Okay, I'm going to thread on a metal bead. Right? We love our men, but sometimes I like to be the queen of the bed and and snore real loud, and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to thread on my mermaid bead. I love mermaid beads. They're so cool. All right. Then I'm going to thread on a bead cap. And then 2 of the check flowers. See, I'm not the only one. Oh my gosh, Sherry, that's hilarious. Mine is the biggest child I didn't have to give birth to. That's hilarious. I think we all feel that way time to time. Okay, now we're going to do 3 of the check fire polish. Oh my goodness. All right. And then we're going to do 2 of the check flowers going in the opposite direction. So these are kind of hugging our fire polish here. All right, then I'm going to do another bead cap. So I'm going to do a bead cap up against those, and then I'm going to do a bead cap in the opposite direction, a smaller bead cap, right? Then I'm going to thread on our crackle, and then I'm just going to repeat the pattern, okay? So smaller bead cap, and then a larger bead cap going in the opposite direction, 2 of the flowers, and then 3 check fire polish. Okay. 2 of the flowers. Isn't it pretty? He puts together some really pretty things. He's somebody who does not struggle with color. So I'm kind of envious. He naturally understands colors. And he also loves texture. So putting together things that have lots of texture, he also enjoys. He's really good at joy making. He doesn't give himself enough credit. He's made some really awesome designs. So, all right, now we are going to do our metal bead, and we are going to crimp, and then we're going to do the adjustable part of this, which he liked the best. He was like, the adjustable thing is so cool. I did the adjustable part because he has not quite mastered the square knots yet, but he did all of the rest of this. So, all right, down through wire guardian and down through our crimp. Okay, and then we will crimp that. And for the adjustable part of this, guys, it's just the square knots. You guys have seen me do it a bunch, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it because we're already past our time. So I'm going to take my 2 pieces, well, there's 3 pieces of this cord. You're going to take one of the pieces and you're going to go through your wire guardian on one side, bring the 2 ends together, tie an overhanded knot. Yeah, guys, please don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. I do mean don't hesitate. Don't wait on closing out your cart. And when I say that, what I mean is don't wait, because if you put stuff in your cart, it may not be there if you come back later. So you definitely want to be sure that you check out, because it totally stinks to have things in your cart and wait and come back later and then be gone. Uh-oh, this knot is not in the right place. I want to pull that down as close as I can get to my wire guardian. There we go. Okay, so now what I have is 2 sets of cords, right? And I'm going to run those in opposite directions, and then we're just going to do the square knots here to make the adjustable part. So I have another piece of the cord. I'm going to take that underneath all of those, and I'm going to try to find the middle. Okay, and I'm going to do a section of square knots. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. So P shape on the right, left cord crosses over that, goes behind and up through. If you need to see a more intensive version of this square knot, please check out my other videos, because I have a lot of projects where we really spend a lot of time on the square knots. Backwards P shape on the left, behind, so the right cord crosses over, goes behind and up through, and pull. Okay, that's one square knot. I'm going to do a couple more of these. You can do as many as you want. Be sure that you do at the very least, 3 square knots. Okay, that's really going to make sure that your bracelet is nice and secure. So do at least 3, but you can do up to 10. It's really up to you. But at the bare minimum, you're going to need to do 3. All right, so I am going to do one more, and then I'm going to move on and show you how to finish this off. So Please forgive me for going really short on this part. Okay, then you're going to come in with your cutters. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to trim real short the cord that I was knotting with. And then I'm going to take either a lighter or a thread burner to melt the ends. You just want to get it close so that it starts to melt. You don't want to set it on fire. Melt it down and then tap. Okay. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other one. Just get close. Don't set it on fire. You just want it to heat up and then tap. Okay. Then you are going to take your two loose ends and pull. So that's what's going to make this adjustable, right? It's taking your two ends, but now we need to be sure that those two ends don't slip through here. So I'm just going to take them and tie an overhanded knot. That knot is going to ensure that when you go to adjust your bracelet and you pull it open real big, it doesn't slide in and then slide out the square knot section. So there's that, and I'm going to trim that off. And I'm going to do the same thing over here on the other side. Try to make it the same distance if I can. Right about there. Cinch that down. Trim. And there you go. So see, when you pull, those knots keep that from sliding in there and pulling your bracelet apart. And then they're also kind of handy just to have to hold on to pull your bracelet. So there you go. There's Q's adjustable chunky spring bracelet. Super, super cute. I wish he would make more jewelry because he's really, really good at it. So there you go. That was Q's contribution to this week's Feel Good Friday show. All right, I'm going to sit this to the side and I'm going to make a real quick pair of earrings and then we will be done. All right, quick and easy, happy little moon earrings here. So here we go. We're using some check glass fire polish and two check glass coins, one with the flower, one with the little happy moon face. And we're going to put these together real quick. So we're going to do our moon onto a head pin. We're going to bend that head pin because we're going to do a simple loop, trim the wire, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Then we're going to use some round nose pliers, roll back to close up our loop. Okay. Then we are going to add on an eye pin, twist to open, thread that onto the loop you just created, twist to close, and then thread on a check fire polish, and then do another simple loop. Okay, round nose pliers, grab the wire, roll back. All right, now before we move on, we want to take our two small fire polish beads and put those onto head pins and give those simple loops. One of them I've already done. We're going to do one together real quick. Grabbing the wire, bending the wire, coming in with our cutter, trim, round nose pliers, grab the wire, roll back, whoops, to create our simple loop. Okay, now the loop that you just created, twist to open, thread on one of your little beads, your little check fire polish, thread on an eye pin, and then thread on the other check fire polish, and then close that loop back. Hold on, get everything out of the way so that I can actually close that. just like so. So now you have your cutie little dangles. Thread on your check coin. Do another simple loop. Trim. Round nose pliers. Simple loop. And then you're going to do another check fire polish with on an eye pin and a simple loop, and you're going to attach it and attach your ear wire, and that's it. Listen, if this earring is too long for you, that's fine. Take out one of the check fire polish, adjust this however you want to make it work for you. You don't have to do it the exact same way that I did it. Okay. I do like a good long earring though. So there we go. How cute are those? Super cute. Simple loops. That's all we had to do to put these together. And anywhere there is a simple loop, if you want to replace it with a wrapped loop, you absolutely can. No reason why you can't. All right, we're going to do a quick run through of everything that is in today's show. I'm going to grab the bust so I can show you guys the necklaces. And then we are going to break for a little while because I will be back over on artbeats.com at 4 p.m. this afternoon for a show over there. Hello. Okay, so let's do a quick run through back through everything that we did here. So here are our little happy moons, which I adore. I think they're super cute. So cute. I love the fun little dangles on those. Really, really cute. Okay. Then we had Q's Chunky Monkey spring color adjustable bracelet, which is really nice. I love this one. I really, really love it. Did you guys know that I usually keep one of these for myself? Anything that he makes, I usually put together and keep one for myself too. So I have my own little Q's collection. It's so pretty. All right. And then we had our double strand crystals with our tiara cast button and our rose quartz beads. Again, really, really pretty color combination there. Love that. All right. Then we had our sponge coral and our cubes with our serpentine bracelet. And then the necklace that goes with it or doesn't go with it, depending on how you feel about it. Gorgeous, gorgeous coral necklace. So pretty. Absolutely obsessed with this one. I think it's really, really nice. And this is a red that I can wear. I can't wear all reds because of my hair, but this red I definitely can wear. So nice. And then last but not least, we had our double strand necklace with the tiara cast Swarovski charm. How pretty is that? Really, really pretty. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. That is it for my Feel Good Friday show. I hope that you have enjoyed today's show. I loved everything that was in today's show. It was an exciting one. I like it when I go away and I come back because I'm always really inspired and ready to create, because it does get hard to do this week in and week out all the time. I kind of get, creative block. So going away last week to work in Florida and being away from this and then coming back, I was like, ooh, look, it's like my beads are brand new again. So I enjoyed putting these together, and I hope that that came across, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed all of these kits this week. Let's see. Anything else I need to remind you of? I don't think so. I'll be back with you on Tuesday. Don't forget, Tuesday of next week, we're doing a question and answer session. So if you have some jewelry making questions that you are dying to know the answers to, write those down or just keep them up here, and we will talk about all of those on Tuesday next week at 1 p.m. Don't forget that I'll be, just like I mentioned, on artbeats.com later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time for a live over there. So you can get one more hangout with me before we go for the weekend. But if I don't see you there, guys, have an amazing rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys again very, very soon. I love you. Mwah. Bye, guys.